We're going to continue our discussion of Teams tips. This is part 2. So in this section, we're going to focus primarily on meetings. So we're going to try and schedule a meeting, start a meeting, meet now, and record. So if you would drive for a moment, let's see if we can schedule a meeting first.
Okay, so I, to the left, clicked on calendar, brought me to my calendar. To the top right, you'll see plus new meeting, which means schedule a new meeting. And then you would put in the title, whoever you wanted to invite. The date, the time, you could make it all day, but doubtful. And then if you want to repeat it, you would click the down arrow. It would give you options. You can add a channel. So these are the channels I have in my team. So I could pick one of these. And then the location, which would, Brian, do you know what you would do for the location?
Okay, maybe to backtrack to a channel for a moment. In general, we have used Teams meetings without a channel. I think there was one instance where I did start one, maybe in the SSG general channel. What that does, I think, is that it notifies everybody who's in the team, and basically they can join the meeting as a team. In situations where you only want a small number of people, maybe it's best to not add a channel when you go in and schedule a meeting. As far as location is concerned, the location I think we can leave blank for the most part for Teams. And the reason why is because the location is a physical location. In this case, for a Teams meeting, there is no physical location because it's a virtual meeting. If there was a conference room available, for example, for some people that could go into a conference room, then that might be a place to put the location. But for the most part, I think for our purposes, we can leave the location blank.
Okay. Here you could put details for the meeting if you wanted, and then after that you would click send. And you'll see right here it added it. And then I'm assuming that the tracking means this would give an update if Brian has approved or accepted to go to the meeting. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to cancel this meeting. Now it is no longer there.
Okay, good. One sort of note, just as a matter of practice, I try to put the description, make the description as complete as possible. And the reason is because if I believe that make the title as complete as possible, because often I will leave the description blank. Also, what I'll do in my titles, I will also put like maybe first names. So I might put Brian, Megan, to discuss something about accounts receivable, for example. And that way we can kind of leave the description blank and then kind of rely upon the title to be our description. Okay, anything else to add about scheduling a meeting?
Nope.
Okay, good. Okay, so we can do maybe one more thing. Let's see if we can maybe create one and start one. So maybe what we can do is kind of pretend that we have a meeting scheduled somewhere and then start it.
Okay.
So go and schedule one more practice meeting. And I guess you can make it for today, maybe at 2:30.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Okay, then what happens is basically when the time rolls around, it'll give you the option to join the meeting. So a little join button will show up in the right-hand side. If you open the meeting right now, I think you might get the opportunity to join now. So it's not so much maybe starting a meeting per se, but it is joining a meeting. So anybody who is invited to the meeting can essentially launch it and get the meeting going. So go ahead and join meeting, and basically it'll kind of show you how it goes. Okay, so this is the kind of standard screen that appears for anybody who joins a meeting. Whether you're the first one or the organizer, or if you're just a participant, you can essentially start the meeting for the rest of the group. So go ahead and join now. And then maybe what I'll do on my end, if I can navigate easily, what I'll do is I'll see if I can join. I'll join your meeting. Okay. Okay. So do you see my icon pop up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good. All right. Very good. So it's kind of useful in a way. So if you're the first one in the meeting, you can essentially start it for everybody else just by clicking that join button. All right. Very good. Now let me hang up. So I'm going to hang up from this one, and then let's go on to our next example. So go ahead and hang up on this meeting. So the next example is to meet now. So the meet now function is actually kind of interesting, and it kind of replaces the Skype for Business notion of chatting. So basically, you can essentially do a meet now and then invite people to your meeting, and it's almost like making a phone call. So go ahead and join. So at the moment, in this example, you are the only one in the meeting. So if you put my name into the people section there, you can invite me. And then what's happening on my side, I'm actually getting a ring. So I'm getting it on my computer and my mobile phone. So what I did just now was to answer it on my mobile phone. Okay, so that's a pretty fast process. It's almost like making a phone call. Okay, so I'm going to hang up from my side. And then on your side, you can close the meeting. The Meet Now thing is pretty useful, but it's a little bit disruptive. So if someone's not expecting your phone call, basically, it's going to be a surprise to them. I think more likely we'll schedule a meeting as opposed to just use the Meet Now function. Okay, so let's do this. Maybe what we can do, we can go back to your practice meeting and then go ahead and launch your practice meeting. And then what I'll do on my side, I'll see if I can join again. All right, good. So now on your side, can you find the button to initiate a recording? Good.
Yeah.
Good. So go ahead and start the recording. And basically it tells you that it's going into something called Microsoft Stream, which is another function within Teams that can manage the recording and other videos. So you can actually put video into Stream and then deploy it within Teams. Okay, so once we have finished our conversation, then you can stop the recording, and I think you can just use the ... again, and I think you can stop it. Right, very good. So we're using GoToMeeting now to do the recording, but in future instances, we can actually use Teams to make a recording of one of our training sessions. I know that we have one Microsoft partner. What he does often will, if he gets a question of some sort, he will record an answer in video, and then that video becomes part of his training set in his library. So at some point, we might get to that stage of sophistication as well. Okay, that'll do it for today, and we'll see you next time for our next Teams tips.